You've got to see this video to the end. It's going to literally blow your mind. The information I found out today, this morning, is that important. I have to share it today. Last night I heard Jim Lee on a live radio station and spoke to him after it and told him about this, and he was very concerned, and I'm going to show you exactly why. Now watch this video I did and I'm going to come back to you. This is going to give you a wow moment. In here is a product called Magnetite. Okay, follow me through, because what I'm going to show you will blow you away, and it comes with all the facts and evidence. It's very, very important. Now, this is reactive. Magnetite is very reactive to magnetic fields and EMF frequencies and all this sort of thing. So what I'm going to do, underneath here, I can't hold my phone at the same time and move this, but I'll try with it in the sun. You see how that lifts up, and when I move the magnet, you will see how it all changes. I don't know how to drop all this, but you can see when you rotate the magnet, it's easier for me to drop it on this tray here. So I'm going to put that on top, and when I pull the magnet off, it'll all fall out underneath. There you go. Let's put that to one side, and now I'm going to place the magnet over there and place this tray. Let's shake it round a bit and place it on the magnet. Wow, look at that. I've gone and got it all on my sheet here, but there's a reason why there's a problem with that as well. So if you look at that, you can see very, very reactive. In fact, it follows the magnetic lines perfectly. Okay, so this is also in this, which is printer ink. How does printer ink work? Well, it's charged and it's magnetized, and that's why the ink works the way it does. So I'm going to show you something now which is on my computer. The video will carry on my computer, and I'm going to show you something that we all have seen and know, but we didn't realize it was this. Okay, so let's get into it. This is monumental for me, and I've been an activist for probably 7 years now, and this was a big wow moment. This is how magnetite can work. I don't want to harbour on this too much.
A ferrofluid is a fluid containing dispersed nanoscale magnetic particles.
Nanoscale magnetic particles.
It's a magnetic fluid. And today, we're going to show you how to
make magnetite. Now, it's simply particulates of magnetite added to cooking oil.
To start, you're going to need some laser jet toner.
Toner black, yeah? Toner black is magnetite. Printer ink, it's magnetized. So, the point I'm saying is, where else is this used? Now look how it reacts to a magnetic field. It also reacts in electromagnetic fields too. Nanoparticulates and nanomagnetic fields and magnetic fields. Yeah, that's what it does. Okay, next. I put magnetite in one of my pendants. This one, with titanium quartz crystals, EMF blocking equipment, and the black is magnetite. Titanium quartz crystal, your 24 karat gold, and you've got the magnetite backing on the back, which is there. But this is how it reacts. So in a magnetic field, if I spin it, you can see there is a reaction on the pendant. So okay, so there's no other metals in there which are magnetic apart from the magnetite dust. So it is reactive. We've proven that in a magnetic field. Now, watch this. Have you ever heard the expression in chemtrails, carbon black? Yeah, carbon black. Printer powder ink, magnetite. Boom.
Is the potential danger to human health secondary to the quest for man to control the weather?
Now, she thinks this is about controlling the weather, as we all do, and blocking out sunlight. But why have they used magnetite specially?
Are government agencies and institutions using mad science to play Russian roulette with our lives? Right now, we are living in the middle of a vast scientific experiment to control the weather. We seem to be the victims of because we can. It's a game of let's try this and see what happens.
Now I'm stopping that there because it is not just about the weather. And the blowout from this is incredible. I'm proving that they are spraying
black chemtrails. Have you seen these yet? They're a little weird. They're perfectly straight. They're literally like a black chemtrail. And then another plane will come along and spray exactly where that black chemtrail points. It literally follows it all the way.
Now what you're seeing here is magnetite mixed with cloud forming nuclei. The magnetite, when it's hit with EMF frequencies, can be controlled. Yeah? Magnetic frequencies. Magnetic frequencies, I repeat. And that's why these are early days. These are when they couldn't hide the black magnetite and they had to have a separate chemical added to it. Now they've mastered it. The reason they were using barium and strontium is because it's conductive electronically and magnetically. But you can't see it. It's a bit pink. That's why we have pink sunsets. And they've been using aluminium dust, which is pure white. Now they're into magnetite and they're disguising it so that you can't see it with the naked eye so black. These are where you've got magnetite, pure magnetite, being sprayed with a few of the chemicals, but now they're mixing it so you can barely see the black magnetite, or they've done something to it so it's not visible. But what happens is, when they spray this, you see a black line, as is on the next video, coming out of the nose of the jet. That's because the magnetite they're spraying behind is conductive. It's like a wire that conducts the energy in the atmosphere, goes through the jet and carries on. So it forms a conductive line because of the magnetite.
And if you have not seen these black chemtrails yet, I'm sure you will, Google it. Check it out. I mean, it's like, what the fuck are these things?
How can there be a shadow if there's nothing there? How can these shadows even exist if there are no chemtrails?
So the shadow goes in front of the aircraft. Why? Because of the electromagnetic field coming down the chemtrail through the jet and out its nose. There you have it.
How can something that doesn't exist cast a shadow in the middle of the sky and not anywhere else? Have you ever seen this in person? The first time we saw this in person, we were like, nah man, this ain't right. This is freaky. When's the last...
Absolutely freaky. And we haven't finished yet. This one shows another line in front of the jet.
Unbelievable. Someone's following a black trail already in the sky.
That could be two things. One, it's magnetite sprayed in front, and there's the second chemical. Or this is magnetite in it, and the black line continues down the nose of the aircraft. So plenty of evidence for that. Now, here's your document on it. This is a document by the International Nuclear Information System, IEA Nucleus. The link will be in the video. I have to read this to you. Magnetic microwave heating of magnetite carbon black mixtures. Carbon black magnetite. Advanced minerals processing, etc. comes here. The kinetics of the carbothermal reduction of magnetite to iron using carbon black was investigated in situ using the time-resolved X-ray powder diffraction synchrotron radiation technique for the use of magnetic microwave heating in a H field of maximum and conventional heating. And as you'll see, we have HAARP atmospheric heaters, electromagnetic frequencies, making clouds from chemtrails, creating winds and creating precipitation and moving storms by the flick of a switch. It's all this. The phase transformation sequence and the reaction kinetics were studied with respect to the case of heating in a microwave field maximum investigated earlier. The reduction to ion proceeds and order of magnitude faster when using microwaves. It proceeds at comparable rates in the E and H field microwave heating. So we'll come down here. Carbon black iron oxides, magnetite, microwave heating, microwave radiation mixtures, phase transformations, reaction kinetics, reduction, synchrotron radiation, X-ray diffraction. Synchrotrons are in NEXRADs that produce microwave magnetic wavelengths. Interesting, eh? Carbon chalcogenides, chemical reactions, coherence, scattering, diffraction, dispersions, electromagnetic radiation elements, heating, ion compounds, iron ore kinetics, minerals and metals, non-metal ores, and so it goes on. So magnetite reacts with electromagnetic frequencies and microwave frequencies. Now, this gets more serious. Preventive properties against ultraviolet degradation. It blocks out ultraviolet light brilliantly. They use it to spray on plastics to stop plastics degrading in ultraviolet light. If you ever buy a bucket, it's all soft and plastic. If you leave it out in the sun, within 2 weeks the plastic's gone brittle and hard and you can smash the bucket. Yeah? But putting magnetite over the top of it prevents that. That means it blocks out ultraviolet light, which is critical during the solar minimum that we've got. So, that's the other one. Coal fly ash, they call it coal fly ash. It's magnetite with a host of other chemicals, and that video you can go back and watch yourself. Massive amounts being sprayed. Okay, this is on a website. I'll put the link into this. It talks about magnetite in the human brain, fields of consciousness, and how it affects the brain in the presence of the mobile phone, transmitters, and EMF frequencies. Research has shown the presence of crystals of biogenic magnetite with minimum estimates between 5 and 100 million domain crystals per gram in many tissues of the human brain. There was Oxford University did an announcement. They finding magnetite in human brains and said it come from brake pads. Yeah, right. Magnetic particle extracts from solubilized tissues were examined with high-resolution transmission electron microscopy and electron diffraction, which identified minerals of the magnetite or the magnemite solid solution. The magnetite compound has been found dispersed in all structures of the human brain. Okay, nanoparticles of magnetite. They are spraying nanoparticulates of magnetite in the atmosphere. It cannot be filtered out through the water system, and we're drinking the damn stuff. But more importantly, we're breathing it in our lungs. Two primary mechanisms by which electromagnetic fields generated by cell phones can interact with biogenic magnetite in the human brain are through ferromagnetic resonance and the mechanical ferromagnetic transduction. Okay, ferromagnetic transduction or mechanical just means like electromagnetic frequencies or magnets, like I showed you at the beginning of the video. Ferromagnetic resonance is described by Kirschenweg-3. It's primarily a consequence of the resonance of the magnetization vectors of an ensemble of particles which may represent in the human brain tissue. The resonance of the magnetization excites phonons in the crystal lattice, which is in your brain, causing acoustical vibrations which deposit energy in the tissue surrounding the particles, which is why you get tinnitus screaming your head off. Resonance in the particles is dependent upon particle size, shape, orientation, and the frequency of the applied field. In other words, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, microwaves, smart meters, and phone towers and electrical cables. Kirchvink has shown theoretically that RF emissions from cell phones fulfill these conditions in certain circumstances. So he's talking about the cell phone. Biogenic magnetite depends largely on the presence of magnetically blocked particles of magnetite or malachite. Particles are magnetically blocked when they are of sufficient volume to possess a stable magnetization vector. This depends on the magnetic energy of the particle overcoming the thermal agitation, which acts to flip the magnetization vector in single magnetic domain particles very rapidly between parallel, anti-parallel, easy axes of magnetization. In other words, they can flip poles depending where the frequency is and what type of frequency it is. It also, wait for this, it also gets hot, because when it's hit with microwave from your mobile phone, the particulates start to vibrate and get hot, which is why using a mobile phone next to your head with magnetite in your brain can be lethal. Now, here's the proof. Jim Lee. Jim, I hope you don't mind me just using these few seconds of your video. You are aware we spoke about this, but great work by Jim Lee. I'll put a link to this video. It was a live show. Here we go. Let's go for this.
They know that there's an in-mod ban. They're still working on weather warfare. And our
Let me just get this working.
presentation, Weather Modification Test Technology Symposium 97. And I'm going to scroll down to just the important parts. Oh, there's HARP.
So HARP is used in weather modification, used with black chemtrails magnetite.
Carbon black cloud seeding to
Carbon black. Now you see it.
increase precipitation, muddy dirt roads, decrease tractability, flood fields, decrease troop comfort level, decrease tractability by snow or freezing rain, decrease precipitation, dry out roads or fields for improved tractability, deny fresh water to troops in semi-dry regions. And you're not going to believe what's on the next slide. Increase cirrus cloud cover. Weather modification using carbon black dust. Why would the military want to create chemtrails, to create plane farts, to create cirrus clouds, to deny visual satellite or high altitude reconnaissance, decrease light level for nighttime operations? So, spy satellites in space, we can create clouds, we can block that. If they're over in a battlefield, let's create chemtrails over the battlefield, create cirrus clouds, makes it darker at night. That way our night vision gives us a distinct advantage. There are other reasons why the military would want to create clouds. I can't do them all in one video, and I'm running out of breath here. But look at the history. If you go to weathermodificationhistory.com, if you look through, some of this information, what you're going to realize is part of it's pollution, part of it's nefarious, and nobody's really telling you the whole story.
Well, Jim, we're getting there. Thank you for that, Jim. Please follow and even donate to Jim. Some great work. Desperately need Jim. So there you have it, folks. There's everything you need to know to expose some of the things they're doing. Carbon black is magnetite, is EMF reacts with electromagnetic fields and can be suspended. When I went to a solar radiation management conference in Oxford University with David Keith, Ken Caldera and Alan Roebuck, they showed on the screen how they can use magnetized nanoparticulates like carbon black to be suspended in electromagnetic fields. There it was on the screen. It's in the agenda. You can even go back to the program and see that particular talk listed. So we just had to go through that. But as you know, when you see black chemtrails, we now know that it's this carbon black is what you're seeing, and it's disgusting. The other video is probably a bit better to show you this one here. I'll turn the sound down and we'll finish with this one.
Last time you saw a cloud cast a shadow in the sky. This ain't no
Carbon black chemtrails coming overhead to a place near you to give you brain damage, brain control, and playing around like God with people's lives.